Today, Precarious plays
Deus Ex, Mankind Divided. I find this a little hard to believe. A moderately sized biotech firm based in North America, Seraph Industries specialized in the design and manufacture of advanced mechanical augments. It revitalized Detroit and made billions for itself. Seraph's fiercest competitor, Taiyang Medical, tried to buy it several times, forcing the company to accept lucrative military contracts to fend them off. In 2027, the AUG incident caused the mechanical augmentation industry to crash. Seraph Industries went bankrupt, and Taiyang Medical finally absorbed it. That doesn't seem... I feel like they would have been able to pivot to a different industry. Just because, like, the external augment industry crashed, could they really... Did nobody want pacemakers? That's something that's really interesting that I'd like an answer about.
Yeah.
I didn't imagine that military-grade augments were affected by any of that. I always assumed that this was like a civilian problem.
Oh, I don't think it was, based on how they were talking about it.
That, I think, is also silly, to use a single word.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I kind of feel like Seraph could have probably made pacemakers, you know?
Yeah.
Just off of the top of my head.
Just like regular old school medical implants instead.
Right.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Companies being bought and sold and traded and fighting, it ends up weird. I feel like Seraph is probably still in charge of itself, but it's inside another organization and they're just not having to fight. They're more shielded. I think that this story is kind of fake. I don't, it's been absorbed. It didn't disappear.
So what's missing from the logo over there is there's like a long line, and then under that, in a nice prim font, it says like a TYM company.
Yeah, exactly. Basically. And they would rebrand it. It's probably called something else in this game,
Ooh, there's something that I want to do before we start. I wasn't quite satisfied. I was watching some of the footage back.
Mm-hmm.
Where would it be? Where would it be? Okay. I'm gonna try turning the sensitivity down.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it will make this a little smoother. Now, see, there's this jittering that happens, and I think it's because I'm using a DualShock. And I don't like that. I'll try working with it between sessions a little more. But for right now, I'm just going to try turning it all the way down and hope that we don't get into any huge firefights.
Yeah.
And I'll try to be more conscious of how I'm moving around through the environment.
How you're operating the camera.
Yeah.
Cameraman. Okay. So every time we sit down to play this game,
Yeah.
a weird thing happens where I start out thinking like, what is it about Deus Ex that I like so much? Every time we sit down, I have a nice time. And then I think to myself, I can't remember why. And then I think, is it really just the set dressing? And then the conversation goes to, no, it has to be more than just how it looks, because then it wouldn't be like a good game, which it must be a good game for us to, spend so much time on it, especially you to spend so much time on it. It must be like a certain minimum level of quality. But then I get here and then it's just like, look, you have a washer. Like, go back into that hall closet. Look around the corner, other corner. You have a washer and dryer set. And it looks period appropriate.
And they work.
I know, like, and the lighting matches the same type of lighting that you would expect to have on your HUD. and there's a drone out the window.
Yep.
And then I'm like, that's some nice ironwork. And I'm like, good detail on the clay tiles. And I'm just like sitting here absorbing this environment. And maybe I don't care about this game. Maybe I just like the lamps.
Part of me feels that way sometimes as well, because one of the things that I wanted to do with Human Revolution is I wanted to take a closer look at the themes of the game, right?
Yeah.
And that the same doubt that I had. Oh, it's a shame that I can't close those. Oh, I wish I had just left it. It's not worth the hype of STEM.
Just walk out of the room and come back. Maybe it'll fix itself.
Maybe. Do I need to turn the sink off or no? It handles itself.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Hey. How long is the shower? Are we stuck here?
Yeah, but that's fine. It'll give us a little bit of time to talk. And it's a rare opportunity to see Adam's feet.
Why does he wear shoes? Maybe just to protect the implants. And maybe, he probably has feeling in his feet, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. The same reason I wear shoes.
It's gotta just be to blend in more, to not draw attention.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, being Adam Jensen right now is probably a different kind of bad than it was in the last game we played.
I was reading some quotes from the original Deus Ex recently. How are you doing? I wish you were here.
Miss you.
C. Who has a C name?
Capon? I don't know who has a C name.
And I think it's interesting that they did at least two of them. The angle's too steep. I can't make that one out at all.
Is it a new relationship? Who was his ex-lady in the other game?
Megan. Yeah. But what was it?
The quotes.
Yeah, I was looking at some quotes from both games. And I have, I have become disillusioned, I might say, with, subtlety. And I think that the original Deus Ex had some points that it wanted to make, and it was not shy about just having characters say important. They would discuss with one another things that were important to the story and to the world, right? Like a character just flat out lays out like how taxes are used to invisibly oppress people over time.
Yeah.
Just with some stats.
Yeah.
You know? And in context, because of the kind of game it is, because of the kind of story it is, you don't listen to it and think like, oh, what's this ham-fisted crap, right? It's like, oh no, that's this person, to persuade the person they're talking to, just needed to say that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't, in this game and in
Is that an upgrade? Is that a bread? Is that a square meal?
Buns!
Look, there are oranges!
It looks like a butt.
It does.
Oh boy.
It's adorable. Look. There's a fruit group. Is he not trying to die anymore? There's coffee. I mean, sure.
Whoa.
There's absinthe, but...
We'll look at that in a minute as well.
Oh, turn it off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Don't want to just turn that on for nothing. Ah, look, it's more picture frames. But that was like a Tai Young medical thing in the first game.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not a completely uncommon thing, stylish choice whenever you're trying to show off old architecture, to just go with it. What is that? I don't know. I don't read that.
I wonder if it's augment related.
I don't know. It might just be like
Well, I think I'm gonna try.
Nutrient goo.
I'm gonna do something really rude here.
Science stava. Wheatgrass?
Yeah, maybe that's.
Best check recipes?
Ah.
Does he have like a new love interest and is cooking again? Is this his, like, that's what this looks like.
You think so?
It is. I hate to be stereotypical, but if you put certain things in a story, you are usually depending on the tropes to carry some meaning, you know?
Yeah, we could check his mail.
Let's snoop. I mean, let's snoop on our own self. Let's see what's going on with us. You know, sometimes you gotta do a self-scan.
Really, Adam needs to just get in touch with the inner Jensen.
The inner Jensen.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is this? Christian.
An old friend.
Oh, wait.
Did you want me to paraphrase it?
Christian, what was, did the name start with a C?
Oh. Huh.
Christian.
Hold on. You know what? That's worth checking out. Does this look like a... No, there's a P.
Yeah. Or some kind of descender.
Yeah.
Curious. No, it's not them.
Oh, I like this one. Okay, so thank you for your detailed specifications for the trench coat. As discussed, it will be completed within 10 business days and shipped express. I'm pretty sure acronym... I think that this is the trench coat that was made by a real world... I don't want to say a real designer because that's a disservice to the people who are just working on the game's assets. It was a real world coat was made.
A material object.
And then they digitized it for Adam.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so there are at least a couple of trench coats and one of them is by acronym, I think.
Cool. I'm going to assume that's really cool.
I mean, it's a great looking coat.
Yeah, so who cares how cool it is? Chang? No.
Ah, this guy. He's one of Jensen's colleagues and is... I mean, because of the context of the game, I don't want to call him paranoid. He is justifiably paranoid. He is correctly suspicious. This place is a target. We are all targets. Not just being paranoid here, okay?
Okay.
ESS. I like that you can unlock and lock the doors. And I think Adam has one of these again. There it is. Okay.
Nice. That's what the frames were for, to make an uneven wall look, you know, normal. Oh my goodness, I visited a museum recently that had a room behind a wall that you could look through. How do I put this? There was a painting.
Yes.
You opened the painting. So it swung out like a little door and revealed a small, roughly face-height window that you could then peer into an entire other room that was set up like a little... It was just like a whole other room that was... Panorama? What word am I thinking of? A diorama. It was like a diorama of some scenery. So you wouldn't know that the room was there to begin with. And then once you poke your head in, there's no way to get into the room.
Mm-hmm.
But it's full of stuff. Arranged just so. And then you can look into it.
Oh, what? Oh, wait, is this from the version of the game? I don't... What is this stuff? This must be like a collector's edition or DLC thing. What is all of this for? I mean, just bonuses. I think I'm just going to ignore all of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a minute, and I'm going to organize this to my usual specifications.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the exact thing I said we shouldn't do. I'm sorry. We spent an episode in Adam's apartment, but I mean...
He spends lots of hours in there.
Yeah, it's like he's, 6 to 8 hours every day, at least, probably.
This is just RP.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We sit down to play this game.
Yeah.
My brain goes from shiny object to shiny object, and then an episode is over, and I'm not sure what we did, but I had a nice time.